We're going to install an Edelbrock E-Street Top End Kit. The kit includes heads, intake, a cam, and lifters, plus all the hardware and gaskets. Once we stripped the block down to a long block assembly, stripped the old paint off. After that, we cleaned it, prepped it, and sprayed it with Eastwood's Chevrolet Orange ceramic high-temp engine paint. It looks 100% better. It's the nicest looking engine paint I've ever seen. It's got a nice shine, nice color to it. The Edelbrock Top End Kit was supplied with a mild street cam, which had 218 degrees and 228 degrees of intake and exhaust duration, both at ½ an inch of lift, and 115 degrees of lobe separation. Lubed it up with moly graphite since it's a flat tappet cam. We're very liberal with the application of that. Carefully installed it without scoring up the bearings. After we had it installed, I went ahead and degreed the cam to the specs that were sent with it. First thing is to find true top dead center. You do that by using a piston stop, and you measure how far before and after top dead center that piston stops the piston from going all the way up. And you find the difference in that and carefully move your degree wheel until you end up where you're X number of degrees forward and backward of top dead center. The purpose of degreeing the camshaft is to, one, make sure that the cam matches the card as closely as possible, and two, to account for any machining variances in the engine, placing the cam position in correct relation to the crankshaft position. We use Edelbrock's E-Street aluminum heads. They feature a 110 cc combustion chamber, 219 intake valve, and a 180 exhaust valve, and they're made here in the USA. The iron heads definitely have a lot more weight to them. I'd guess probably a good 40 pounds more per head. The great thing about these heads is the price. They're less than 900 bucks a piece, and they come fully assembled. Just bolt them on and go. We used Edelbrock's Performer RPM intake manifold, which is designed to optimize your horsepower and torque in the 1500 to 6500 RPM range. It's pretty simple install. We used silicone instead of the rubber end gaskets, just to make sure that they don't squeeze out like they all do. And just a small bit of silicone around the water ports and to hold them in place while you set the manifold on. Set it on there and follow the torque sequence and torque it down. While we had the engine apart and we popped all the caps, we figured it'd be a good time to replace the rear main seal. It's a pretty simple procedure, even with the crank in the car. Just loosen all the main cap bolts, get yourself enough play to kind of sneak it in around the top bearing. And I always like to use just a little bit of sealant where the two halves meet, because that's a good leak point, and just a little bit of sealant in the groove, which also keeps them from leaking. Front cover seal is real easy to install. You just take a seal driver and pop it into the opening, and that's all there is to it. We used a pair of Edelbrock's kind of nostalgic finned aluminum valve covers. The real fitting for a 60s car, I think. They come pretty well ready to go, except for installing the baffles, which is a pretty simple process. They got these screw rivets. Just tap them in with a hammer. Personally, I like to add a little Loctite just to make sure they don't come back out. The valve covers are essentially the same size as a stock pair of stamped steel ones. You have to be careful not to scratch them up though when you tighten the bolts down. The clearance is a little tight on them. Next, I installed the fuel pump. Once again, while we had the engine part, we thought it'd be a good idea to install a high volume oil pump just to make sure everything's new and happy. Anytime you install a new oil pump on a GM car with a press fit pickup, you check the pan clearance on them. Easiest way to do that is take yourself a piece of clay, set it on your pickup that you've lightly tapped into the pump, drop your pan on there with the gasket, and you pull it back off and take your dial calipers and measure your clearance and adjust it as necessary. The balancer install is pretty simple to do, even if you're doing it at home. We stuck it in the oven and warmed it up to about 200 degrees, similar to what would be at operating temperature. That causes the metal to expand just enough to give you that extra edge to slide it over the crankshaft with a little persuasion. While we had it apart, we also installed a set of comp roller tip rockers. They're fairly inexpensive and they give you that little extra edge in reducing valve train friction at the tip of the rocker arm. Next, I installed the accessory pulleys on the engine. Once it was fully assembled, we hooked it up to the engine hoist and dropped it back in the car. After the motor was back in the car, we started reinstalling the rest of the drivetrain. First thing we did is install the resurfaced flywheel, used some assembly lube on the bolts, torqued them to spec. We installed the Centerforce clutch. Centerforce clutch is a really nice piece. It's got a low pedal effort, similar to stock, but the way it's designed, it maintains better holding power behind our higher horsepower engine. After that, of course, you install the bell housing, make sure your clutch fork is on the latched on the pivot ball and greased properly. Install your transmission, cross member, drive shaft, and shift linkage. We reinstalled the radiator and we filled the crankcase up with Royal Purple's break-in oil. We use Royal Purple's break-in oil for a couple reasons. One, it's specially designed for break-in, and two, since this is a flat tappet engine, it's extremely critical that you have proper lubrication. This oil is formulated with a high level of the chemical known as ZDDP, which is a extreme pressure additive, especially important for the flat tappet cam, keep it from going flat during the initial break-in process. We used Royal Purple's Max Gear synthetic transmission lube. It's specifically designed to replace a regular 80-90 gear oil. We used a Holley Street Avenger Aluminum carburetor. It's designed as all aluminum, which is meant to save weight. If you've ever picked up a regular Holley carburetor, they're extremely heavy for what they are. The Holley Street Avenger is also a really nice carburetor because it features an electric choke and a vacuum secondary, which makes it really nice to tune for street use. And the best thing about it, I think, is it's got 4-corner idle adjustments, so you can really fine-tune your idle on a high-performance engine. As we've mentioned, this car has a flat tappet cam, and it's extremely critical to get the engine to fire and up to 2,000 RPMs as soon as possible to ensure proper break-in of the cam. In our quest to do that, we developed a method of priming the carburetor using our Mighty Vac system.
All right, so what we're trying to do here is siphon off some fuel to make sure our fuel line is full of gas, so you don't have to crank the engine for 20 minutes sucking up fuel. We're going to use that same fuel to load this carburetor. This way we'll know this thing has fuel, and hopefully we'll start fast, like right away. Hopefully.
It worked great. It was probably the best way I've ever filled up a carburetor for a first start. Critical thing to do whenever you reinstall an engine in a car is to prime the oil system. We used an old HEI distributor, dropped it down the distributor shaft without the gear on it, and made sure all the bearings were lubed so that when we started it, there wasn't that brief point where there's no oil pressure while everything's spinning really fast. We used an MSD Digital E-Curve. MSD supplies some basic instructions, some guidelines on where to start with your curve. There's 2 screws and they're numbered, each notch on them. And you look on a chart where you want your curve to be, and then you align the 2 corresponding numbers on those screws. The Digital E-Curve distributor also features a built-in rev limiter, which I set to a safe 5,500 RPM. Last thing we did was we installed the distributor cap and wires, and gave ourselves a rough estimate of about 10 degrees before top dead center for our initial start timing. Once we had the distributor installed, we hit the key and it fired right on. First try.
All right, man, hit it.
After the initial start, the engine made it through its first 20 minutes flawlessly, ran about 198 to 204 degrees the whole time with 40 pounds oil pressure. We're looking forward to finishing up the brake job and taking this on a test and tune drive.